Hello. Today I'd like to talk to you about the environment. Now, the environment is a very new problem. Well, it's not. The environment's not really the problem. It's we that's the problem, see. And we have caused over the last 100 years or so immense damage to the environment. And it has all been achieved by greed and capitalism and marketing. I say marketing because I believe it is the only way we can solve the problem. Now, I know Einstein said once, you cannot solve a problem using the same thinking that caused the problem in the first place. Well, I like to argue against that because I don't think we're going to get rid of marketing because it's got us in the trouble we're in right now, see. So let's turn the whole thing around. Now, you think about this. How can you persuade someone to part with nigh on bloody $20,000 or €15,000 or £10,000 or 55 million shekels or whatever you want to call it? You want to part with all that money just for a metal box on 4 wheels that in 5 years' time is going to be worth absolutely bugger all. And in probably 8 years' time, it'll just be rubbish, which is what it was when it started, as far as I'm concerned. And it was all done with marketing. Bloody clever marketing, if you ask me. Turned us all into bloody fools. Now we've established that marketing does work and then make people do very stupid things and buy stupid things they don't actually need. That marketing achieved its goals by persuading people that if they did buy a product, they would be like this bloody gorgeous sexy little model or bloody successful handsome man or whatever if they bought the product. Now, I know that's bloody crazy, but we all fell for it. So you'd use the same sort of marketing that they use in the motor car industry, right, where they make other people really jealous of their bloody neighbour because they got a newer car, and if they got a nice bloody flashy car they can look like this and they can do that, and they got all these pretty girlfriends and they got all these bloody sexual icons splashed all over the place and being rammed down your throat, as it were. You imagine you use that same technology, that same marketing, to achieve the goals of selling renewable energy, like solar energy and bloody stuff like that. Solar panels and put on your roof and produce your own power and your own hot water and all that sort of stuff. And you can have on the side of these solar panels things like the Sunmaster GTX Mark III, right? So you got that there and all your neighbours are saying, my God, look at that bugger up there, I gotta get a bloody solar Sunmaster with bloody Mark V GTSS YY or whatever. You get my point. So therefore we want to be trying to outdo themselves by having all these bloody solar panels all over their bloody roofs, and then before you know what's what, the whole bloody place will be cluttered up with solar panels, will be producing far too much electricity. We can bloody flog it to the froggies. French, I mean. There's an idea. Do you see my point? It might work. And I'll tell you another thing. We gotta stop all these bloody politicians hijacking the environmental issues to get it bloody in power. Because that's what they're bloody doing, because they ain't doing bugger all about it. You take bloody Tony Blair, for example. I remember a few months ago he made this big speech about reducing bloody carbon emissions in the UK. That same bloody month, the bloody airlines were all liberalised, whatever you want to call it, the open skies thing, and so all these bloody aircraft can bloody fly all over to bloody America and bloody all over Europe, and whereas before it was all a bit controlled. Then he announces the bloody new super casino up at bloody Manchester. You imagine the bloody carbon footprint of that bugger. Huh? That's a bloody liar. He's been proved to be so and all, so why should we believe him about anything? He ain't bloody serious about that. I think we've all got to get serious about it, otherwise we ain't going to have a bloody planet to live on. I don't want to get all cynical about it, but it's bloody true. As for bloody George Bush, he's talking about he will not sacrifice the American economy for the environment. Well, what a bloody stupid thing to say, because if there ain't no environment, there ain't going to be no bloody economy, is there? I rest my case. Anyway, I hope I haven't spoilt your bloody day just by bringing up these little points here. But I actually live like a peasant myself in a way. I lives in a caravan, see? And I know some people might think, what a bloody loser he is living in a bloody caravan, but I tell you what, I know exactly how much water I use, I know exactly how much electricity I use, I know exactly how much gas I use, and I know how much bloody rubbish I put out, because I'm the bugger that has to bloody carry it. It's quite nice, actually. The only problem is when you're trying to make a bloody video like this, you get a bunch of Germans turning up. They make all that bloody noise down there, so apologies for that. I've got nothing against Germans, don't get me wrong. Okay, make that point. So, fellow citizens, that's all I want to say to you. You can get enormous pleasure out of living a simple life. Enormous. I'll tell you, I've got one little point before I go. You know, whenever there's a bloody crisis on this planet, like a bloody 9/11 or a bloody paraguts or fuel shortages or bombs or wars, that's when we'd all pull together, see, that's when we all come close. I remember in the 70s there, like when the Conservative government were trying to bring down unions, the whole of England were on a bloody 3-day week. People had to bloody, you couldn't buy petrol every day unless every other day you had odd number plates and even number plates being able to buy petrol. So everyone started sharing cars and started socialising together. It was good. It was good. It was a great tragedy, I think, that us humans have to wait for some horrific event or some inconvenient event to bring us all together and take us all back to where we were before. You know, it's like all this bloody materialism is all separating us. People not speaking to each other anymore. It's bloody weird. Anyway, give it a go. And I'll see you next time when I'm going to talk to you about politics. And then I'm going to do another one about religion. And I don't know what I'm going to do after that. I'm sure I'll think of something.